Is Gucci Mane snitching? Yo, what's happening? This is Late Night CJ, and we back at it once again. Now, over the past week or two, the whole story's been blowing up. Is he or is he not snitching? Well, the thing all boils down to it is, what do you consider snitching? Now, we got tattle telling. That's just being messy. Then you got telling. And then you have snitching. Now, I teach the youth, and one of the things I teach them is that words matter. Once you define a word, how you move with it now change. Like, think of the words like love and friend. Like when you was back in high school and, oh, I love her, or I love him, or whatever. If you were to use that definition in your adult life, you'd be like, man, that sounds silly. Just like when you was in elementary school, everybody was your friend. If you knew him for 2 minutes or 2 years, that's my friend, that's my friend. What's his name? But that's your friend? Yes. But if you were to do that now as an adult, it would sound silly to call somebody your friend who you've only known for 2 minutes, right? Now the same thing applies to this. Now, you have, like I said before, tattle telling. Those are gossips. People that just tell for no reason. Just tell your business, part of this normal conversation. And that really doesn't factor into this because there was a real crime committed, allegedly. There was a real crime committed, so just tattle telling is not really applicable in this situation. But now what we have is, which one is it? Is it telling or is it snitching? To some factions, they're interchangeable. If you is a street dude or you keep it real, they're the same. You don't talk to police. We don't do that. We don't take the stand. We don't talk to police. And I get it. If you grew up under those rules and regulations, that might make sense. But to the average person, that makes no sense. But let's define it. That way you can tell me what you think he actually did. Telling. Telling is more so protecting, okay? If you are a civilian and the lady up the street get knocked up across her head, they run in the house, take all her stuff, and then take off, and you see it, and you can't get to them, and the police be like, what happened? Hey, it was these dudes. They ran up in Miss Johnson's house, knocked her upside the head, robbed her, took all the stuff. That old lady ain't do it. Matter of fact, y'all better catch them before I do. Now that's telling. You are trying to protect your environment. You have nothing to gain, no benefit. You are just informing the authorities to handle a nefarious act that happened to somebody who is not in that life. That's telling. And in my world, that's fine. If you're a civilian or whatnot. And that's where we will get into the definition of snitching, which the water has been muddied on what snitching is. And let's get into that. Snitching. Snitching is when one or more in concert to commit a crime, one or more gets caught, and in order to lighten their sentence or take something off, or maybe even just get full immunity, they are willing to tell what happened and who was involved in the commission of a crime. That was fire. You saw I just did that off the top of my head. But anyways, if me and you commit a crime, we do a bank robbery, right? I get caught and they say, look, we might be willing to cut a deal if you can tell us who all was involved. And I'll be like, I get my lawyer, I'll be like, my client said that he'd be willing to take a deal of immunity, being that he did not, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, you know what I'm talking about. And then I say, okay, he did it, he had the gun, he ran in there, he was the driver, he's the one who did the shooting, he had the money, he split it up, he went to Mexico, That's snitching. Now, what they're saying about Gucci Mane is he gave a statement, allegedly. Now, everybody remembers Big Belly Gucci, right? Big Belly Gucci would have said, I ain't talking to nobody. Because Big Belly Gucci believed in street justice. But the person that showed up that day was Radric Davis. Radric Davis came there on business. He had a cameraman, he had security, and he had a couple friends. He told that, hey, come on down to Dallas. We're gonna go over this music. We're gonna do a few things, and we're gonna keep it pushing. Radric Davis, not Big Belly Gucci. Now, what Pooh Shiesty should be glad about is Big Belly Gucci didn't show up. Big Belly Gucci turned into Max Payne up in that mud. The point I'm trying to make is, with this whole snitching and telling is, at some point we have to evolve. You understand me? And only our people, yes, I'm going into our people, have this curse of keeping it real. You can't evolve. You move out the hood, you ain't keeping it real. You send your kids to a above level school, you ain't keeping it real. You not giving money or basically being low key extorted by the hood, you not keeping it real. You try to move your family to an environment that is not about violence and criminal activities, you not keeping it real. You start speaking articulate, you not keeping it real. No other group of people has this responsibility to be impoverished. No group of people has this responsibility to hang out in nefarious situations. No group of people has this responsibility that if you try to elevate your family somehow, you are less black. Where they do that at? No, we have to start looking at it like this. Pooh Shiesty, you just got out of jail, and the way of getting out of your contract is not to do like Pac, let me run these albums all back to back, that way I can get out of my contract. You show up with weaponry to try to, where do they do that at? Get your lawyers on the job. Why do we have to keep it real? And keeping it real means staying ignorant and staying street level. I am so sick of our people finding some kind of way to always go backwards. We not coming together, we not getting no money, we not trying to elevate. No, we always up on some street foolishness, and now we got two brothers out here in the street looking crazy because one is about to do life and the other one can't even protect his family, his investments, and all of that because he's not keeping it real. Violation. I'll just say this. There's a lesson to be learned about this. The whole telling, tattle telling, snitching is all BS. It is. The fact that you're even involved in such scenarios after a certain age is more of an indictment on you and your lack of evolution as an individual. A man doesn't become animalistic. He raises and elevates the intelligence of his conversation and existence. So when Gucci is now trying to be Radric Davis, that's who we should look at him as. And Pooh Shiesty, brother, I hope many of people are praying for you because it don't look good. In spite if it was tattle telling, telling or snitching. And I don't think he snitched, just in case y'all was waiting to hear it. I don't think he snitched. He might have got to telling, but he ain't snitched. This is Late Night CJ. Like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend. 100. He lucky, big belly, brr. Ice cream face Gucci didn't show up. Ha!